now live in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Ohio, Montana, Idaho, Oregon, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Illinois. Go to hardafseltzer.com today, click on the store locator, and enter your city or zip to find the closest location nearest you.
We are gold for energy! Send it! Incoming! Put the money in the bag, man!
As I said, your paycheck is your thank you.
What's going on back there? This is awesome! Welcome to Earth! No. Who's flying the plane? Get cockpit, go! God!
Black Rifle Energy, dropping near you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Yeah, JB's Tuesday in the world.
On a Tuesday.
Yeah, on the USA. What are you looking up over there? What are you looking? We all know that that's a fake computer. That doesn't work. You got nothing on that thing.
This is me scrolling up. Is that how you do it?
No, that is not how you do it. Okay, that is not how you do it.
No, I'm looking up. Look, there's stuff going on today, dude.
There's a lot going on
live
today.
stuff.
There's a lot going on. We got breaking news too.
It's Sue Me
We got
Summer,
a
dude.
little breaking news too, James. I'm gonna control the mic like this because I'm so shocked by it. Obviously, Bezos is getting married this summer. You know, to the love of his life. Her.
Listen, I think we're gonna have to start you know those friends that have just they are just together, and you're like, I think we're gonna have to start accepting.
We are
that they're like a real couple.
It's just she looks weird. It's not even so much him, to be honest with you. It's just she kind of looks weird.
She doesn't.
She does, especially when you know her ex-husband. Like, it's a weird thing. But what I will say is this wedding is going on. And Orlando Bloom just announced that he's going single to it, so he is apparently getting divorced from Katy Perry, which is the breaking news. What? That guy's going through a midlife crisis. There's something is wrong with him. With the TV show and the weirdness, and then the interviews with Billie Eilish for the documentary and all this stuff. Like, that is a guy who's going through it. I don't get it.
Are you confirming that, or is it because he's going single that you're?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say yes. This is I will confirm this.
Okay.
I think she's all done with the bullshit, and they're not going together. And let's face it, she doesn't miss a gig like that. No way would you miss the Jeff Bezos Amazon wedding.
She went on his spaceship.
Yeah,
I know, they're good friends.
100%.
So why wouldn't she go and he not go?
That's what I say.
I don't know. I think it's a little trouble in paradise because he was talking shit about the astronaut situation.
Uh-huh.
I think it's maybe a little. They're on the rocks, but why wouldn't she go and he not go? He must be going in her place somehow.
I don't understand what's going on with him at all. It's a midlife crisis. He's not the dude anymore.
What's wrong with him?
And it's Katy fucking Perry, for Christ's sake.
Yeah,
what
he's
are we
probably
doing?
tired of her bullshit.
So what, dude? You can't be tired of that money. They get to do the coolest shit in the world, and sorry, that's a rad life. Suck it up, Buttercup. And even if the bullshit isn't real on American Idol or whatever she hosts or didn't used to host or whatever, like it's enjoyable. And you're like, all right, you're goofy. You got huge tits and you're rich as fuck. She was making $18 million a year off that show for God knows how many years. Like you're all good. And what's he doing? Jumping out of helicopters, rock climbing, and then being like, you know what? I'd really like to go back to my 20s here again, early 20s, and try to figure that out.
You mean being the man?
Being the man?
It's not. I couldn't
um,
imagine making that call to my wife and being like, hey, it's going to be some 22-year-old. Thanks for the memories, but I got to get the fuck out of here. Like, that's crazy. I could never imagine making that call to you and saying that's what I'm going to do.
No one imagines it until it happens. No one imagines it until you turn whatever and your mind like melts and dudes like freaking go crazy, dude. I'm just telling you, you don't know until you know. I bet Orlando Bloom too was like, oh my God, I have the best thing ever. Now, here's my question. Who do you think got the ick first? Did she get the ick from him?
She did. I think she did.
And then
after
he
all those
obviously-
uncomfortable videos.
He obviously got the ick from her then after, right?
I think her being a global superstar also has a lot to do with it, where it was just like, hey, dude, I'm the guy from Lord of the Rings. What about me?
It's the Carrie Hart syndrome, right?
Bob,
Where
did you
you're
watch that doc with Billie Eilish?
I did not.
That's
no.
exactly what he said to her. To Billie Eilish.
What did he say?
I'm the guy from Lord of the Rings. And you're like, okay, cool. And he kept getting these really long hugs to Billie Eilish. That was uncomfortable.
Yeah. For what it's worth,
he was on ecstasy.
Orlando Bloom was, for about 8 or 9 years, absolutely a global superstar.
He was the dude.
Totally.
It's true.
Like my wife was of the age when Orlando Bloom was like the hunk.
I get it.
He was obsessed
I get
with
it.
Orlando Bloom.
And I understand
sure.
it, but it's like an athlete. Like the time comes and goes, and it's gone for him.
Yeah, he's Dan Marino now. You know?
Yeah.
He just shows up on TV sometimes.
Still looks good. He looks great.
Didn't we see him at Coachella
Yeah.
one year?
Yep.
And like he was doing the long hug with somebody.
Yeah.
It was like next to us in like a bathroom line, but he was being so weird to this person, whoever it was,
don't know who the
next
person
to
was.
us.
Yeah.
But it was like very high, very long hugs,
Yeah.
very lots of like holding the hand. How are you?
So
He was annoying then.
And yeah, I had the same agent as he did during this entire period of time. And the agent was cool. And I go, what's his story? And he goes, I don't really know, man. He's just kind of weird. And I was like, all right, fair enough.
I think he's
Fair enough.
Allegedly, when they started dating, or maybe married, whatever, Katy Perry was like, "Oh my God, you drink a lot,"
really.
Well,
because he's an Anglo.
So
Yeah.
he's a good time. All I'm hearing is a good time.
Yeah,
I
if
think he
drinks,
was
That's cool.
He was wasted when we
Yes, he was wasted.
overheard this interaction.
Yeah. Very wasted.
But of course he was.
But it's Coachella too. I don't give a shit.
Oh, for
Great.
sure.
Party.
For sure.
Party. But I think she just was just like, okay, cool. I'm still Katy Perry. I'm on tour right now. Can you stop doing your stupid shit that I got to participate in? Remember he made her jump out of that helicopter in that goddamn thing? And you're like, all right. Boy, she looked pissed off. And she goes, can we never do any of this again because we got kids? And he's just like, oh, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Well,
She gets so mad at me, right?
you're pulling my yanker,
She
whatever.
hates me for this. And
Yeah.
it's like, I
Well,
know
yeah.
you're joking, but she like really does.
But if I did the same shit to you, I'd be like, hey, babe, I'm going to fucking rock climb this weekend or jump out of a helicopter. You'd be like, we got kids, right? You're going to still do that? And I'd be like, well, you're right. That's dumb. That's
Yeah.
fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But whatever. We can move past it. That's just the breaking news here. And good for him, able to fucking shut her down from the guy that she's friends with and going up in the cock rocket with the astronauts and all that other stuff. Like maybe also she wanted that story to die. So who knows? Yeah. Speaking of wanting a story to die here, Diddy. That's it. Take that. This is almost over.
Yep.
So the defense more than likely will rest today. And they're all done with the trial. They said, look, we're not calling Diddy. We're not doing anything other than saying, yeah, he's a fucking freak. But all these people were consenting adults. He had one of the DEA agents or whoever raided his home today read off the text messages from all the girls that were allegedly trafficked and everything else saying, hey, I can't wait to be there. Can't wait to fuck. Can't wait to do all this crazy shit. And I think they're really confident in their thing, and they're like, great, let's wrap this up and get him out of there by the 4th of July so he can throw another fucking party.
Yeah.
For real. I bet she goes, hey, I've got a place in the Hamptons that is locked for the 4th. It's a Friday night. Everybody's off. Start this party on Thursday and then bleed into the entire weekend, and I'm going to keep on doing it. Grab that baby oil. I want it out of evidence, and I want it delivered to the fucking Hamptons because it's still state to state, bro. Like,
who do you invite because everybody kind of turned their back on
here's the beauty of
I
Hollywood.
mean, rightly so,
Yeah, here's the beauty of Hollywood is it is a very short memory, and as soon as they're not implicated anymore, doesn't really fucking matter.
I heard Diddy has a long memory, though.
Him? Like Santa?
I heard he likes a bit of revenge.
I think
Sure.
we're going to get a red wedding situation, if anything. You know what I mean? Now, do you get that make 'em up reference?
I would love it. Oh, yes. That I'm familiar with Game of Thrones. She's not. Yeah, she's not.
Who dies?
It's fine.
Who dies?
Don't care about that.
Who
Don't
dies?
care about that.
Yeah, Diddy's going to lock the doors. The Reigns of Castamere start playing. Everyone starts looking around.
Yeah.
And yeah, his
Who wrote it?
Beat it, nerd.
Who wrote
Come on.
it? Delco?
Beat it, nerd.
David Benioff. Be a real fan.
You mean George R.R. Martin?
I believe
Yeah.
R.R. Martin wrote that episode.
Yeah.
He sure didn't.
People seem to forget that George R.R. Martin was heavily involved.
He also wrote the book, so
He
like
sat
that
there.
happens in the book.
He sat there 1,000 years old and just watched in the corner. But that's the reason why everybody hated the ending, by the way, because he didn't finish the goddamn books. Another story for another day. Diddy, though, on the other hand, is getting
Speaking
out of
of sitting
there.
in the
He will
corner,
go. Yes, he will go out of there and probably win, in my opinion. You called this first. And then, yeah, he'll have a fucking 4th of July party and post all over social media saying, fuck you to the feds, fuck you to everybody else.
They're going to have to charge him with something, right? What would be the lesser charge, Bob? Or would it just all be...
He could be convicted of, so he's charged with a bunch of things.
Five.
Right.
5 counts, right? That are still there.
He could be convicted, let me see. Let me
There's
look at
any, like,
Racketeering.
Yeah, if there's money
trafficking.
stuff.
There's some gun shit. There's some other shit. But here's the thing: is like, I watched the testimony. Hey, remember that white kid we made fun of from Syracuse, Bob?
yeah.
He testified the other day, and they go, well, you know, they thought they were going to catch him flipping, right? Mm-hmm. Because he got arrested at the airport right before his house got raided, or as his house was getting raided, and he had 0.7 grams of cocaine on him. That was Diddy's. And he goes, oh, hey, which is also, who gives a fuck? Like, who gives a baker's
Was it
fuck about
fucking
that?
bricks,
yeah,
dude?
it's not like he was moving fucking, Pusha T type bricks.
Right.
Sorry about it. And they said, how do you feel about Diddy now? And going through everything you went through. And he goes, I'm grateful. He goes, it was a great job. I learned a lot. He goes, it was awesome. On the stand. So, like, I don't know who the person is that is supposed to flip and have this crazy story.
Well, it
Yeah, I
seems
think
like
for
they.
straight white dudes, it was a great job,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
But yeah,
He's
go
like,
ahead.
I don't have to like do anything with you, right?
Yeah.
Nah, dog. Just
He's like, nah, dog,
Nah.
you're not.
move that. Just move that product.
Yeah, you're not.
Okay,
it.
cool.
Hey, just make sure there's enough ecstasy on the table. Okay, like things like that.
Yeah.
He is one of the things he's charged with is transportation to engage in prostitution, which seems like he's definitely guilty of.
So
Right.
they brought up those flight records and everything in Monday. So yesterday.
I think
Forgive me, all the days
that's
blend together.
Proven.
Well, yes and no. Like, if they're over age,
Nope,
what's the
you can't pay
fucking
him.
crime?
You
Can't pay him.
You still.
But
you
the
can't,
money was going through associates, not Diddy himself.
Which
yeah, but
is
if they can
racketeering,
yeah.
right?
Oh, then he's guilty of racketeering too. Yeah.
What is that? What is
So
that
you're
charge
using
exactly?
business.
Just moving money around
Yeah,
to engage in illegal
moving-
activities, that
Okay.
type of
right.
thing.
Using company money
It doesn't.
to
Yeah. So
pay people to do illegal things.
Got it.
it doesn't matter how old they are. Prostitution's illegal.
Yeah.
And it's more illegal when you do it across state
Right.
lines.
Ah, okay. So
Now the amount of years you're gonna get for it, or
Yeah, it's a
the
max.
sentence.
It's a max of 10 years, and he's charged with 2 counts of that.
that's a lot. That's a lot. So,
Yeah, but like
But
that's
now,
max. He has time served.
But even
He'll
the-
do
his
what?
time
But let-
served,
but-
and they might get it if he. So he gets say he's guilty of both.
Yeah.
Maybe he gets like the sentence,
5 years.
But maybe he serves them concurrently. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like
which means it's like
or what if the jury's just pissed off enough that they're like, "Hey, I don't fucking care."
Right.
Like all these people were consenting adults, and
honestly,
I don't give a shit.
But honestly, though, the a lot of those witnesses where you're just like, oh, he was a horrible person. that really might have been just to get the jury to max sentence him on the stuff he's guilty of.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, they know they're not going to get him on sexual assault, but they can prove this is a monstrous piece of shit.
Right.
And then on the stuff he is guilty of,
They'll
can
go
hope for
max
the
on-
max sentence because the jury will be like, yeah, fuck this guy.
And I still stand by what I say before this started. I think the Diageo family was embarrassed by his lawsuits. They were the ones that gave everything to the feds and all the info after the Ciroc thing. And yeah, this trial has felt more embarrassing for him and his family rather than, and you know, letting the world know that he's a horrible person. But is any of it really that illegal? Shipping in prostitutes from other states and all other stuff, like that happens more than you think. And if you're above 21 or 18 or whatever it is, like as illegal, like what's the fucking?
I don't think prostitution's immoral, but
I don't either.
Maybe the way he was doing it was not great.
So
I'm not saying that, and I don't think I said he was going to get totally off of everything. I just think that the way people presented this crime, which I said in the very beginning of like trafficking and child trafficking and all this stuff like that, I was like, let's just wait. You were like, oh, wow.
right.
Telling me I was on the wrong side of history. I was like, we just need to wait with trafficking, what that means. We just need to wait with these things because the way, I mean, do you remember? You don't see it anymore, but like it was every other meme, every other story, every other person coming out. So they were trying to do public opinion before the case started. So something will go down. It's like Karen Reed getting DUI, right? Like you gotta do something. It's just not gonna be what everyone fucking thought it was. They thought he was going down.
But the Karen Reed DUI, she's gonna get, you know, fucking community service for what, 40 hours or whatever it is, and a $10,000 fine. That's all awesome. She was looking at murder.
Oh no, I'm just saying they had.
No, I know.
Yeah, so they're
But
gonna.
that's not even. She's not serving any time for that.
No, I know. So whatever, but it was the very least they could give her. Why wouldn't they not do anything? Because they wanted to do something, right? So whatever that lesser charge is with Diddy, whatever the one that they can say, all right, this was proven, he'll get that, and then you know. I don't know, but it won't be this big explosive thing that we thought it was going to be. Why? Maybe it was covered up well. I don't know.
We'll see what happens, but smart move on their part, in my opinion. This trial's gone on long enough. If you look at the jurors and say, hey, man, we're fucking done, dude. I think that goes a long way where we're not calling anybody. Fuck these guys, and this is it. Like, I mean, they are not calling anyone. The only thing they did today was cross-examine the DEA agent, and that's it. They got no witnesses. He's not testifying, and they hope probably for a verdict by Friday in this, and they might get it, and he might be at your 4th of July party. So buckle up in 2 weeks, okay? That's all I'm saying.
That's all I'm saying.
And then who do you think's going to be playing there? A 4th of July party. Oh. Say Cardi B. I think Cardi B, another person who is drugged and raped men and stolen shit from them. Like she just announced she's finally coming out with a sophomore album. 37 songs. Is that right? Can you fact check that real quick?
It's too many songs.
That's an insane amount of songs.
I know Morgan Wallen does that too, and I love it, but it's hard to find.
Let's cut 27 of those songs.
No.
Yeah. Is there any way that every song is good?
No.
No, but it gives you more. 23 songs. That's a lot still. Jesus Christ. All right.
Kanye hit the sweet spot with 7 songs.
No, he also did 10. He was the first one to do 10. That's probably where you live.
He was
10
obsessed
to 12.
with 7 for a while, though.
Well, that whole summer, yeah. And all of those were pretty fucking good, to be honest with you. But, yeah, finally. I didn't know. She's been famous now for so long, sadly, that I did not know this was only her second album.
Oh, yeah.
Isn't that weird?
Does she just like feature a lot?
Yes.
On other people?
She's on a lot of songs.
Or
Yeah.
singles,
A lot of people.
I'd imagine.
Yeah. But this is only her second album. So, yeah, we'll see what happens there, man. My God. We're looking for some summer bangers. We got none.
Right.
Well, we got one out of Kanye, but we can't sing that on this show. For obvious reasons.
And then Sabrina Carpenter, I think, was supposed to be our
Yeah, what
our
was
girl.
the song that she had that you loved, Bob? What, like, that has gone missing. I don't hear it.
I haven't heard the song, but I've seen the video.
Man's Best Friend
Man's
Well, the
Best
video
Friend.
is Sabrina
is,
Carpenter.
I'm sorry, Man Child's the song. Man's Best Friend is the album coming out August 29th. Can't fucking
I
wait.
watched it on mute, but
Yeah.
Yeah. How's the song, Bob?
It's good. It's a good song.
You don't sound amped.
Yeah,
It was a little bit more of the same, which is fine because she's really good.
sure.
But I'm excited to see the whole album. I kind of liked her like non-radio tracks the best, to be honest. So
Okay.
I need to evaluate the
He's
album
a
as a
true
whole.
fan.
Nah, and that's fine. Like, I like that too. But, even last summer we had Shabuzi and we had Kendrick Lamar. I feel like every summer there's a couple songs you can hang your hat on and be like, all right, it was the summer of this. Remember that?
Yeah.
I don't know what this is for this summer. We have nothing besides Heil Hitler. And that's...
Right. Well,
We got nothing out there, and it's very odd because even Morgan Wallen, he dropped his, which was great, but 37, you're right, is a lot to sift through. And then she's got, 23, but this album also isn't getting released until September. Summer's kind of over at that point. Everybody's back in school.
Yeah.
Sabrina Carpenter's at the end of August? Is there something I'm missing
it
that's supposed to come out
can't-
over the summer?
can't be the song of the summer if it comes out in August.
Right. And the new Clips track I heard is fucking awesome. I just don't think people are that familiar with Clips.
Right. That can't be it. It
No.
has to be a
Something catchy.
family friendly.
What
A
happened
little
to
bit.
a good old whoop 'em gonna or
Oh yeah.
or a Macarena or something? Where is that?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Because with all the AI shit, one would think somebody could or would create it. And as people are getting more and more comfortable using it, yeah, like even Post Malone came out the other day and goes, dude, because I'm shredding my voice on this tour and it sucks, he goes, dude, just tapping that button. A little AI button to smooth everything out, the vocals. It's great. He goes, usually you had to show up at your best. I'll never forget that Mary J. Blige session that I was in on when we were recording the soundtrack for Dawkins. And she came in and did it. But like she had the teas, the honeys, all the accoutrements there just to warm up vocally, get to where she needed to be and everything else. Now you're just tapping a button.
I would venture to say Mary J would still do all of that.
I don't think she would ever.
Yeah, but here's the thing: Mary
Do
J.
it.
Blige is a real singer.
That's
know,
what I mean.
that's
Like,
true.
so I don't think she would ever,
If
even
you-
to this day, want to tap an AI button.
Right. If you go into if you went backstage of like a Broadway show, they're all doing that.
Oh, yes.
They're all
100%.
drinking
Because
tea
Yes.
and honey
they're-
because they're real singers.
They want
Real
to-
singers, and they're going sometimes twice a day, those guys. But for Post Malone, he's a pretty goddamn good singer. I will say this. Live,
fine. Yeah,
we've
but-
seen him live a bunch of times. So
He's like a good singer the way I don't know, Mark Hoppus or someone is. He's a rock singer.
Yeah.
Like he's not a singer, male or female. You know what I mean? Like a Freddie Mercury. You know what I mean?
right.
Yeah.
Like he's just a normal rock band singer.
Yeah, but nobody is. I mean, Freddie Mercury is probably the greatest of all time, male-wise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who I would put ahead of him.
it's fucking bleak. I'm looking at it right now. There's like nothing coming out.
Nothing.
We got a Kesha joint on July 4th.
That might pop.
Oh, that could pop.
Kesha. Could you imagine?
I
Good for her.
can
I can
imagine,
too.
by the way.
I can.
I can imagine.
TikTok.
And it may be just what we need.
That song "Praying" was just fucking incredible. So maybe she's got one in her. We'll see.
She is underrated. That
"Praying" song is a really goddamn great song.
speaking of people who can actually sing, she is an excellent singer.
Correct.
Yeah.
But she kind of just was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to be an auto-tune dipshit pop star," which I love because she makes great bops.
Right.
There's a Black Keys album coming out in August, but
I don't think
not gonna get the
that's
kids
gonna
up.
do it.
No. I
don't think
That's
it
not
is.
gonna get him out of bed.
but I'm
they're-
I'm just telling you, there's like nothing coming out.
MGK?
No, I know.
Sure.
I know.
MGK?
No, that's not gonna do it either. That's not gonna do it either, unfortunately. Maybe I'll try to create one AI one, and we'll see if we
There
can
you
do
go.
it. Yeah, because that other guy, we played one on Drinkin' Bros yesterday during a meme, and I'd seen it before, like a bunch, and I was like, if it wasn't a comedy, like a joke, like it would have been close. I think the possibility's there.
You need to put it out under your band name, Midnight Hammer.
Yeah,
and
Operation
just-
Midnight Hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just
Just let the world know.
be like, I heard this song. Like, you're pushing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From your favorite band. It's not you. See what happens.
And then see what, I just won't say anything, and then and we'll find out. Speaking of not saying anything, Brad Pitt should have just not said anything. Like, I can't wait for this F1 movie to come out. Going opening night with the kids. They're dying to see it. And IMAX, that sound is going to rip your face off, and like Dolby, and like, holy shit. All in opening nights. Tom Cruise showed up at the premiere in London and just said, hey, brother, I'm just here to support you. B. Pitt is crying, and he's pointing up to Jesus, and it's awesome.
Right.
Because those are the last guys who were believing theaters and movie stars, and let's fucking keep going, dude, and support each other.
Right.
Love to see it. And then he goes on Dax Shepard's podcast yesterday, and it's not it. It's just not the fucking move, dude. He doesn't need to do podcasts or anything else anymore. And God damn it, do I want to hear about Brad Pitt's AA story for fucking 30 minutes? I sure don't.
Let's calm down. I know why you're really mad.
Why?
You know why.
Dax Shepard.
No.
Yep.
What do you think they talked about though, Bob? Would you, if you have Brad Pitt on your show, would you go into AA for 30 fucking minutes, dude?
I mean, Dax Shepard's a big AA guy. But
that's the only thing he talks about.
I've seen a lot of clips from that interview. I haven't watched the interview, but they talk about other stuff. But they go through his whole career. I just saw a clip today about how about his story of taking 7.
We don't need
Bob,
Brad Pitt to share anything.
You need to be honest with yourself. Like, he was not good on that mic. And I
Brad
love,
Pitt?
Yes.
I love
We love Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt.
We love him.
Be honest with yourself and the people.
Yeah.
Like, it was a...
He doesn't do podcasts. He
It
doesn't do
was
interviews.
a little meander. You know what I mean?
Because
I didn't want to
he's
see
never had
it.
to do an
I didn't
interview
wanna
his
see
entire
it.
life.
Because real Brad Pitt's kind of sad.
I know, dude. Like, but that's why you
Hide
don't
it.
show
Hide
yourself.
it. Yes.
I will listen to the whole episode. Like I said, I've only
Okay.
seen clips, and I was fine with the clips. Like, truly, I was fine with the clips. Like, I was
Of
like,
course, they're not going to put out,
yeah. So I'll do the whole thing.
you know, and just kind of go in a couple parts. I'm one to talk, right? But during a couple parts, just go, Brad, what are you talking about? Do you know what I mean? What are you trying to get to, man? It's very hard. It's a form of media that like everybody feels like they can do, and when you're in front of a mic and you have to sit with Dax Shepard for hours,
Yeah.
it turns
It does. And just let me read you a couple quotes from it, okay? He spends a good majority of the time talking about his incredible experience in Alcoholics Anonymous. I was pretty much on my back, on my knees. I was trying anything anyone threw at me. It was a particular difficult time. I needed rebooting. I just needed to wake the fuck up in some areas, you know? And described the AA meeting as very special. And guess who he met there?
Where?
Dax Shepard.
Oh.
So that was one of his first, bros at AA together.
So that's
and,
what they talked about.
That's
And it says,
sweet.
well, he goes, you know what the beauty of AA is? It's men sharing their experiences, their foibles, their missteps, their wants, their aches. And there's also a lot of humor in there.
AA is just ayahuasca for sobers.
It is.
Yeah.
And it's so depressing.
I think perhaps
Have you guys ever had to go to one?
no. I think maybe
Boy.
your biggest mistake in Hollywood, Ross, was not networking at AA events.
I know.
You know what's funny? That's why
Scientology or AA.
That's why we went. So I'm not going to say who the other friend is because he's still working, but we went to one of those things. And afterwards, obviously, we went to the bar next door and just got trashed. But like, we went to them and just hearing these people's stories. And it was another friend of ours who is a working actor, not super famous and everything else. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, these stories. Because it's...
Was it the Venice AA or the
No.
Santa Monica?
No, it was the Hollywood one. So it was on, Vine, right around that Hollywood area. And it was just like, okay, cool. But it was kind of like everybody waiting for, to audition for SNL where they had their own thing. You didn't really pay attention about, who was going ahead of you or care about their struggles. You knew your speech was coming up and you're like,
Right.
okay, I'm going to go and give this. And I think that's better than that guy who was eating dirt out of, bottom of a grill at the bottom of the LA River or something like that. And you're like, okay, talking about the soots and the rain. And you're like, I
Right.
was just digging for this last morsel of crack rock or whatever it is. And
Yeah.
you're like, okay, cool. I can't hear any of these stories. But for me, old school Hollywood, and this is why I'm not good, like, it's social media and all that shit, is like, you never said anything. Brad Pitt doesn't have to say anything at all. He's just always Brad Pitt. He can just show up hot somewhere on the cover of GQ. Did you see those GQ things that he shot the other day, Bob? Put those up on screen for the ladies.
And then just
for
like,
the ladies.
You know, give a couple sentences to E! Entertainment or you know, NBC.
On the red
and
carpet,
you just,
yeah.
and you just go, oh gosh, he's so.
Look at this guy. Look at this fucking man, dude.
Why
you know?
is he dressed?
Like a sea captain?
Yeah.
I'm not real sure. Go through
is
the
that
rest
the
of it.
shoot?
There's a bunch of them. So he's in the desert in some of them, Bob, if you pull those up.
Looks like he's in the.
In the woods, on the lake. They took
Oh.
this motherfucker everywhere, dude.
Oh,
Shaved
so-
his head and looks fucking cool.
Okay, so he just went to a bunch of different.
Oh, tons. And they dragged him
Places.
out there, and it was like, that's all I really want to see. Brad Pitt looking cool, doing fucking weird shit.
I don't know about that hat.
Yeah, I don't know if this is cool.
I don't know
It's
about the
fine.
hat. but
Look,
listen.
you're
the problem.
you're gonna miss 1 out of 80 photos.
No,
Sure.
No, but here's the problem. It is cool because it's on Brad Pitt.
I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you
you're
can't
right.
pull it off.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, none of us can pull it
Nope.
off.
Yeah,
Absolutely
true.
right. I couldn't pull off a newsboy cap if I tried. Head's too goddamn big. Brad
Yeah,
Pitt, though,
yeah. It's almost like the more ridiculous on Brad Pitt, the better.
this guy could get me to buy a hard copy, a print edition of the New York Times. If he was a little newsboy coming up to me and be like,
Oh, yeah.
50 cents, sir. I'd be like, yes, Brad.
Absolutely nothing he couldn't wear that people would be like, well, I mean, like a cape made out of the skin of African child cobalt miners. People would be like, that's horrible, but he's pulling it off.
I
Yeah,
know.
like jelly shoes, right?
Yeah.
Like the buckled up women's jelly shoes he could wear.
Isotoners from the OJ trial. He could wear those. And you'd be like, well, you know, he's probably getting in a character for something else.
He could do like a dad core and be in khakis and, you know, New Balance. And you're like, oh my gosh, is
Yeah.
that what we're doing now?
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go, B-Pent. I love you. And I understand all of it. You're like, what's that?
Okay, I don't know.
What's this look? What are those
It's
sunglasses?
a little bit of like a Mad Max. I'm in the desert on
That's
an
fine.
old bike.
Still looks great. And you know he actually rode that fucking thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they didn't prop him up on that. He got out there and he's like, I got one of these.
Sure.
I got one of those old Indian
Sure.
motorcycles or whatever it is.
Looks a little sloppy here.
That's Brad Pitt though.
Hey,
Like,
you know,
sorry.
I guess sloppy's in now, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro.
Brad Pitt just did it. Everybody's got to do it now.
Everybody's got to do it now. Sorry. But we're going to get to some major Brad Pitt news right after this. We got some sponsors real quick. Put this shit wagon on the air. First and foremost, OmahaSteaks.com. 4th of July sale, 50% off. And then an extra $45 off with the promo code Grilling Ross at checkout. That is Grilling Ross at OmahaSteaks.com. 50% off 4th of July sale. Plus, our listeners get an extra $45 off. All right, so Sunday, we're going live on YouTube Sunday nights.
Okay.
We're having the Great American Steak Off, brought to you by OmahaSteaks.com. Rectech Grills have also gotten in on the mix. We've
Okay.
hand-selected some contestants. Jesse will be one of the judges, potentially get in there and cook.
Okay.
We'll see what happens here.
Is the meat queen going?
Meat Queen is judging. So
Oh, he's
Hollaway will
judging,
be a
okay.
judge. Yes. So we'll be in here. Grills and all that stuff will be set out outside. Street
Oh.
Gonzo will be interviewing them throughout the process.
Oh, they're professional.
Well, they're professional friends of ours. And
Oh,
we
okay.
want to see how normal people get down on steaks. We're going to do 2 cuts of meat from Omaha Steaks. So we're going to do the filet mignon, which is the fan favorite, and I have, 4 of those a week probably.
Okay.
What you reckon? How many of those do I really have a week? 4 nights a week?
Yeah, I would say 6 to 8 because it's a
Total, yeah.
two
It's a
of-
2, I bang
yeah.
bang it, and I eat 2 of them. And then we're also going to do a strip. So that way you're cooking 2 different types of meats, and then the winner wins, and we'll see what happens there.
Okay.
So I would love for you to get in it.
Listen, I'll get in it.
Okay.
If it doesn't ruffle any feathers.
It will not. And if you
And,
if you want a shot at the grill, we're giving away the RecTech grill, and we're giving away a 1-year subscription to OmahaSteaks.com for free. So you're going to get meat sent to your house for free for winning. I know.
What?
Yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
I like that Jessie just wants to put herself out there. You know, be vulnerable.
Jessie, not
put her
vulnerable.
Stake out there for judgment.
Not vulnerable.
Yeah, like
she wants to win, dude. She's been in a bunch of cooking competitions.
Yeah, I'm too competitive and confident for my own good.
But a certain somebody in this studio that always claims to makes the best steaks.
I know.
Weirdly not in this.
No,
that's why I was like, what?
Well, I will say this.
I can't be in it if Meat Queen's not in it.
He usually he goes the same way as you, where it's the cast iron skillet.
He does a reverse sear.
Right. And it's very good, actually. I've had Holloway's steak. He's actually a very good cook, surprisingly. And he's not ducking it, but
sounds like a John Jones situation.
We have to be in there. Well, look, maybe he'll get involved. We'll see. I'm bringing in the meats on Friday, and we'll be rocking. So Sunday night, you guys are getting a bonus, live show, and yeah, dude, we're gonna see what goes down and who wins and what shakes out there.
Yeah.
And we got some people in the mix that are rolling through, and then Jesse, if you want to do a last minute entry. Love to have you.
Yeah, I don't need much prep.
No.
So is what it is, guys.
Yeah. Let's do it. Are you in?
Let me know.
Are you in?
Sure.
Okay.
Are people coming to the studio? What's happening?
Yeah,
like,
well, we've got our
listeners?
judges.
Oh,
Yeah. We've hand selected some people here,
Okay,
so it
got
doesn't
it.
get too out of control.
Oh, okay,
obviously, because there'll be a lot of grills going for days, and I don't know that our insurance covers that. Whatever.
Okay.
Omaha Steak's been America's original butcher since 1917. Family-owned company. 100 years of expertise in the meat industry. They also carry mouth-watering burgers, which we had last night, those smash burgers, chicken, pork, seafood, and delectable desserts. These smash burgers are so goddamn good that you don't even need anything on them. How many of the kids eat last night? 8?
2 each, bunch of kids there. Yeah, I was grilling and grilling.
I stole somebody's.
Yeah, you did. Out of the mouth of the children. It's all right. They're that good. Do you know what I mean?
They ran outside to play in the pool, and I was like, well.
And you said, hey, give me that.
There's an extra one for Daddy. I'm going to go ahead and take that.
Sure.
Get fired up for the 4th with Omaha Steaks. Visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide during their 4th of July sale for an extra $45 off of that. Use promo code GrillingRoss at checkout. That is 50% off at omahasteaks.com. Get an extra $45 off with the promo code GrillingRoss at checkout. See that site for details, man, for all their greatness there. God damn. I love these guys, and I hope they continue on for real. Next up is hardafseltzer.com. Just got some huge news here. So Tall Boys are coming out for August. Those will be out in a lot of college cities for college football, so look for that.
Perfect.
Just got confirmed that University of Alabama, Tuscaloosa, is getting Tall Boys at all their Circle Ks there. Auburn University is also getting Tall Boys at their Circle Ks there. It'll be green apple and blue raspberry in those 19.2 ounces. And then Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Ohio are the other ones that are getting those immediately. And then the great state of Texas. Let's go. Every Total Wine picked him up as well, and HEB has requested a massive order. So those Tall Boys, that's going to be the drink of the summer. At least I can do that for you if we're not going to get a song of the summer.
Right.
That green apple I could drink all goddamn day long, and my God, man. Blue Raz I have to take a sec off, only because some listeners challenged me at Penn State, and that was a mistake on their part. I drank 6 of those that did not make a dent. They were on the floor.
Of course.
So, yeah, that's the Blue Raz is the official Penn State
You've
can.
trained for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that. And then we will be doing a live show there and a tailgate with our good friends that we were at last time. It was a blast of a tailgate up there for the whiteout game. That is, I believe, September 27th. That is Penn State's big game of the year, and it's Oregon. So it is Oregon at Penn State in a night game. The whiteout you've never been to, it is one of the best atmospheres of any sporting event you could possibly be at. It's phenomenal.
Nice.
Phenomenal, yeah. It's all white. It's 110,000 people, and it's so goddamn loud in there. Can't hear shit. But right now, variety packs and all that stuff are out everywhere. HEB, Albertsons, and Idaho and Montana. And then slowly moving out. Washington. If you guys know anybody at Safeway, hit me up. Ricky Lawrence, if you're listening to this show. Those guys went in and wanted to open up the state of Washington. It's a weird fucking state. And they were like, look, we'll take you, but you need Safeway as like a guaranteed up there. And like, it's been a long time since I've been in a Safeway, so I'm assuming that's their biggest grocery store. But you know more about that than I do.
In where?
Washington, the state of Washington. In Oregon?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess Safeway is big in
can't
Oregon and
remember.
California as well. So, are the Northern California at least? We didn't have it in LA, so I don't really know. But seems like a big ask, to be honest with you. And so we're trying.
Yeah.
We're trying. So we love you. And yeah, if the rest of these Circle K's close, a lot more states are going to be opening up soon. And holy shit, buckle up. All right, so Brad Pitt news. That is out, and it is official right now. Read this late last night because he was doing press overseas, which, you know, usually these movies come out overseas first. Overseas box office represents 70% of what the actual movie is going to make in theaters. So I get why they do it. And they trapped him. They trapped Brad Pitt on the red carpet, and they said, hey, Gavin Newsom dropped a list of all the films that are going to get tax credits to shoot in California. What's this one that is untitled, and it appears as if that was the fake movie that was tossed during April 1st for an April Fool's Day joke. Bob, this is his character from Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yes.
And they said David Fincher was going to direct it.
Yep.
Quentin Tarantino wrote it. And it was going to not be a sequel, obviously, because, you know, you're not killing the Manson family anymore, but just kind of his career in Hollywood. And we all thought it was fake. We refused to do the story. Shit, Variety refused to post it. Everybody else did as well because we knew nothing about it. Then they found this fucking tax thing on the back end, and Netflix had gotten $20 million back, which means that budget was somewhere in the $100 million range. With Brad Pitt as the lead, David Fincher directing from a Quentin Tarantino script, and then one of my faves, Carla Gugino, however you pronounce her last name. She's a fantastic actress. She's been around forever, is also confirmed in it as well.
Yeah.
And it could be dope as fuck.
You know what the plot is?
I do not.
So Cliff Booth, the
Yeah.
character, moves to Brentwood and becomes good friends with this woman. And, you know, they hit it off after a while. Her husband's abusive. And one day, Cliff Booth comes home at the house next door and hears a ruckus, I guess, and goes over and sees she's about to get murdered and kills. It's another killing the killer story.
Really?
Yeah, it's OJ.
Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm kidding.
Oh, wow. I was like...
That's what I want.
Because I'm trying to
Killing.
pair out the years. I was like, man, Manson murdered an OJ. His character would be like 85 at that point. So
I just want. Yeah, that's the next revenge story, right? He prevents the Manson
Yeah,
killings. Now
yeah.
he prevents the OJ killing.
No, I don't
Oh.
think there's a murder involved. I think it's him doing like more stuntman shit in Hollywood. That's what I read. But everything else is kind of under wraps. But I know they're done shooting. So they got
If
the money and they're
Tarantino
done.
wrote it, there's some murder somewhere.
I probably.
Yeah.
He's one of my favorite screenwriters of all time. So
yeah,
I'm
but
amped.
there's always some kind of violence if it's Tarantino.
And Fincher is best friends with Tarantino and Brad Pitt. But the only question I have is, why won't Quentin Tarantino just direct a movie? I don't really understand what he's waiting for at this point.
You don't want to put out slop.
It's a lot of pressure to be
I think it's
a
pressure.
Tarantino joint.
Yeah,
Like,
he doesn't really miss.
No, but he pulled his movie at the last second from the studio on his own. That wasn't canceled because of anything else but him. And he just goes, "Nah, I don't feel like this is my last movie." And everybody was like, "Oh, okay." So this is cool, but maybe he doesn't. He's never done a sequel, I guess. So maybe he didn't want to feel like he was doing a
Kill
sequel.
Bill, a couple of volumes.
Oh, you're right. But that was only a couple volumes because the studio refused to release a 6-hour movie. So
Oh, okay, so he just broke it up.
yes,
Okay.
it was all shot in the same
Oh, okay.
time frame.
I'll give you a couple serial killers from the 70s in LA. See if any of them make
But
it.
you still
Okay.
think this is going to involve serial
Who
killers?
knows? I mean, look at it though. Yeah, probably.
There's gonna be
Because
violence. What
you
kind
have-
of violence?
You
Yeah.
have the first one with Tarantino kind of involved serial killer, involved a mass murder, right?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, now who do you have involved as director? David Fincher, who's done what films? Seven
Yep.
and Zodiac.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I feel like the chances are as high as they could be, whatever that chance is. Maybe it's only 20%, but
Right,
whatever the
right.
ceiling of the percentage, a reasonable percentage is that there's a
Yes.
serial killer in it, it's at that fucking ceiling.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so
There'll be violence.
you were gonna name some? Are we
Yeah.
Ramirez? What?
We've got the Hillsdale Stranglers.
Okay.
some cousins who were responsible for the rape, torture, and murder of 10 women and girls between 77 and 78, posing as cops, I guess, while doing it.
Okay.
Jesse, let me know if you've heard of any of these.
Yes, I've heard of it.
Hillsdale, we know. Yeah.
The
I know
Freeway
that one.
Killer.
The what?
The Freeway Killer.
I know the Freeway Killer.
Murdered young boys and men, disposing of their bodies. What's his name? William Bonin. Bonin.
Yeah.
The Trash Bag Killer. Patrick Kearney, active from 65 to 77.
That one I don't know, actually.
Took,
Yeah.
you
I don't know
know,
that
fucked
one.
up hitchhikers, dismembered their bodies, blah, blah, blah.
If they're
Now, this is the
hitchhikers.
one I'm rooting for.
Okay.
The Skid Row Stabber.
Oh.
Just was murdering homeless people.
Yeah, killed at least 11 people in the Skid Row area between 74 and 75.
That feels like technicalities, huh?
Yeah. Those
far as
people
serial killer?
could have gone anyways, and
Go
nobody
ahead,
probably
but go
knew.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And then the Scorecard Killer. When was the Golden State Killer?
Golden State was
Wasn't he in the 70s?
late 70s, I believe, 78.
all the way up
I
to
want to say 78 maybe.
So obviously,
apparently 90. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So obviously,
but that book is sold. So the rights for that book have been sold already.
fair enough. Obviously, though, the first film takes place in 1969 because that's when the Manson murders happened.
Right.
Yes.
So we're looking probably at an early to mid 70s setting.
Oh,
or
God.
maybe immediately after.
That's
who knows?
great. 70s setting though for Tarantino and Fincher. Let's fucking go in Hollywood when
70s,
it was fun.
70s Hollywood. was hot?
Cocaine. Burt Reynolds. I mean, there's so many characters you could pop in there, like and
Yeah.
make it hilarious and awesome. Because remember Bruce Lee was in the last one,
Yeah.
so you could have a bunch of fun stories in there. It'd be great for DiCaprio to come in and make a cameo too. I loved his character, and I loved Brad Pitt's character in that movie.
Yeah.
I just didn't love that movie. There was some really great scenes.
Yeah.
It was just a series of great scenes.
Correct.
Also,
But I enjoyed the
Yeah.
whole thing. So
Yeah.
you can't say it's a bad movie if you like the whole thing.
I didn't
Yeah.
like the whole thing though. You know what's weird? The part that I didn't like is when they got to the chicks and the Manson
The
shits
Spawn
in
Ranch?
the middle. Yes.
you mean the most loaded female cast of the last 15 years?
I know they were. That scene to me, I didn't dig and I didn't really care. And I know it sounds weird. I just wanted to see the two of those dudes. Like they were so good.
I feel like at
I
the
didn't need
time-
that storyline actually.
At the time, it was whatever, but like looking back now, Quali, Sweeney,
know.
Lena Dunham,
I
and the chick
know.
who just won Best Actress, whose name I forget, but she's really good at. She was actually the best actress.
Whaley or whatever.
No,
Yeah.
Quali
Right,
is-
Yeah, she
no,
was in
the,
there.
Quali, Honora, the Honora,
The Honora
chick.
chick, Mickey, some whatever.
Yeah.
Right.
Mickey.
No.
Nikki
Look, I'm not
Plus
saying
Austin,
the
what's his
cast wasn't phenomenal. I'm just saying I didn't
Margot
really care
Robbie,
about that.
right?
Margot Robbie popped in. Yeah. Didn't have very many lines in that movie, but yeah. But either way, I'm looking forward to it, and it's
Right.
going to be a Netflix thing, so we'll see what happens there. But I'm amped about it.
Can I tell you how Fincher can start it off and let you know this isn't a Tarantino film. This is a Fincher film.
Yeah.
Okay, we open on a foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's quiet. There's not even any sound, right? Not even any there's just a
Female foot, Bob.
Yes, a female
Yeah, but
foot.
that's
Female
a Tarantino
foot.
movie.
No, hold on. Let my scene progress. God damn it.
Sure.
Yeah, at
open
this
on-
point, you're still thinking, oh, who is it? Fincher's going to tell you right now.
Right. We open on a foot. Okay.
Got you.
And there's just music. You don't hear anything.
Sure.
Right. Music starts to fade. Screams start to come in, and it's still just on the foot.
Yeah. No movement, no
Right.
slow push, no nothing.
Right.
Literally
Yeah.
just still.
Hacksaw comes into frame. Just starts sawing that fucking foot off.
And you see the bones
Yep,
come out.
This
Yeah.
is a David Fincher movie, motherfuckers.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice, dude.
Oh, God.
That'd be real nice.
I like Bob's movie, the Foot movie.
Sure.
Like, that's pretty cool.
It's the movie Bob's been dying to make.
Yeah.
Just tell me that's not a great opening.
No, that's a
It'd be
great
great to
opening.
transfer
And then
from
you know that it's
Tarantino
not a
to Fincher.
Tarantino movie, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in. So yeah, if they're done, this should come out probably around award season. So November, December, then I would imagine. And he should be on fire after this F1 movie. Everybody and their mother is going to see this, including myself and the kids opening night. So
Right.
yeah, I think it's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thursday, you guys
Thursday
are going?
night.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah, to IMAX.
Yes.
because that's a must there. So, by the way, even with the go back to the Tom Cruise thing, I know Tom Cruise has said this a million times, but it was totally true. Watching Mission Impossible in IMAX and that brand new laser IMAX bullshit, like edge of your seat the entire movie that was the fastest 3-hour film I've ever seen. That, and I think, well, no, it was more exciting than Oppenheimer, but Oppenheimer was a pretty quick 3 hours as well. But that Mission Impossible, man, god damn it. You were literally just gripping the seat the entire time because you know it's him.
Right.
There's no CGI and bullshit where you're just like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
He's actually doing this.
Yep.
And I'm afraid he's going to die right now.
It's been a solid movie year.
It has. And the box office has done really, really fucking well. And if they're smart, they continue on this pace. Dead serious. Like, box office has done really fucking well this year. So if they're smart, they'll continue on this pace and make original shit like the F1 movie, because I think that will explode. Ironically, the only bomb so far of the summer is the new Pixar movie. That Elio movie tanked horrifically. It was the lowest opener in Pixar's history, which is wild to me. Because I thought the trailer looked good when I saw it.
So you talk about the trailer, and yeah, I never saw it.
We played it on the show, Bob.
I know but I never saw it in the world.
Oh,
And
I know.
The marketing was really low for it.
Yeah.
It was not marketed.
It's a hard one to describe that, hey, it's this kid and his alien, and, the alien's made up as well, so.
I think almost all of Pixar's weakest films involve human characters.
Yeah, it has to be all
Animals?
Yeah, no, just like some
Monsters,
kind of
toys, yeah,
being,
whatever.
Yeah.
creature that
Robots.
they've invented.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but
If a person is one of the top 4 main characters, it's going to be pretty mid. Like, for example, Jesse, I know you agree Luca is a pile of garbage.
I love Luca, you little
Luca's great.
bitch. We fought in the softcore that I was on. The entire episode is Bob and I fighting over
Luca.
how amazing Luca is and how trash he thinks it is.
Counterpoint Coco.
Coco's great.
That's like
Coco
the
is
only
great.
one. Yeah, Coco,
That won the
you're right.
Oscar.
Coco is brilliant. Coco is
They're
brilliant.
making another one of those. Our buddy's coming back to do it again. Alana's going back for that.
Coco is
But
great.
You know
Coco
what,
is
though?
great.
You know what, though? Yes, the main character is a boy, and I guess Elio is this too, so fair enough. But every single other character is a fucking skeleton.
True, and even he kind of
Yeah.
goes that way as
Yeah.
it's not just like human boy living in a normal house with like
Yeah.
And wasn't
it doesn't work.
Lin-Manuel Miranda, didn't he do the soundtrack
That
for
was
Coco?
Encanto.
that
Oh,
was
it
Encanto.
wasn't Coco?
And Encanto was not Pixar. Encanto,
Yes.
Encanto, Moana, Frozen,
Moana.
those were all just Disney.
Okay.
So for whatever reason, Disney pulls it off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they've been grooming us for a while.
They
though,
have. They
with
just dropped
human characters.
They just dropped another Toy Story trailer, by the way.
Yeah, why?
Keeps making money.
Okay,
What are you gonna do?
okay.
There's a Toy Story Land at Disney, I think.
I know. That Star Wars thing I just saw the other day, and I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but Mr. Beast had access to it, and he put it in the video. Holy shit, it's pretty impressive. My God, man. I'm surprised they let him film in there, too.
Yeah, it's Mr. Beast.
I know. He's the dude. Like, would you say he's bigger than Rogan?
Yes.
Probably. Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Infinitely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So
As
he
far
gets
as
to do
his,
what he
like,
wants. man.
access now
Not
and
e-
numbers, yeah.
And
Not
even
even
he goes,
controversial, yeah.
yeah. And by the way, even he goes in the video because I watch it with my kids when it comes out on Saturdays. He goes, I can't believe they're letting me fucking film in here. Like even he was shocked about it. I was like, all right.
Just shut the fuck up, Mr.
He has
Beast.
to say that.
Just shut the fuck up.
He genuinely was though, and I like him.
Liar.
I'm a Mr. Beast
He's
fan.
a fucking like billionaire.
Yeah.
on
Couldn't.
YouTube.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan of
It's like
his.
Jeff Bezos be like, I can't believe they're letting me go to. Sure, you can do whatever you
Yeah.
want, you dickhead.
Yeah. They let me in this VIP. You're like,
Yeah,
what?
It's free advertising for their fucking park.
But you guys know the rights, like surrounding Star Wars. They don't usually give that up. I mean, you're seeing stormtroopers and shit in the goddamn in the ride
I
where
disagree.
you're like, all right.
They used to not give it up, and then
Oh,
Lucas
now-
sold
yeah,
it, and
yeah.
now they're just dirty whores.
Yeah,
know.
Disney's like, how
Yeah,
can
you're
we
right.
sell tickets to the
Yeah,
park?
they're
Oh,
just-
Mr. Beast has exposure to 100 million children?
Yeah, no, you're right.
I'm
Because even
sorry.
I wanted to go and take my kids to that goddamn thing after seeing the video. I was like, I'm in. Let's
Are you
go.
talking about the Star Wars part of Disneyland?
Yeah, the ride.
No,
Not
it's
the
like
ride.
a
It's a
whole.
whole
Oh, yeah.
area. You
It's
can
a
go in the
whole, like,
Millennium
world.
Falcon
But there's
and,
also a ride in there that takes you through the world.
I think the more impressive thing is just like walking through,
Yeah.
and you
an
feel like
immersive
even just
experience.
going to the.
Well, he said in the video that the ride is typically 3 to 4 hour wait to get on the ride that takes you through it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. That's
Okay, but
crazy.
you know what I'm saying, right? Where
Yeah.
like there's.
Yes.
It replaced, I think, like Toontown. So you remember when you're walking in Toontown and it's
Huh?
like, oh my gosh, it's all. That's how it is.
That's cool.
Where like stormtroopers are just walking past you. It's even darker. Feels like it's like.
That's great.
It's crazy.
You're no
actually.
longer in Orlando.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're on
Or
Hoth.
Disney or
Or
whatever.
Disney.
I thought I
Tatooine,
was
yeah.
like, took a wrong turn or something.
Is there a bar in there? Like the bar in
cantina?
in Star
I bet there
Wars?
is.
Bing,
I
bing,
hope
bing, bing,
so.
bing. No, because Disney.
Jesse would've found it.
Yeah, believe me, it's only
would've found it.
California Adventure that they do that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
I would have found it.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, you
fuck
would
you,
have found it for sure. For sure,
Oh,
Jesse.
fucking guy
I'll,
like
I'll
you.
report back. I'm going in a couple weeks.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That's dope.
You are.
Yeah, I'm going to for the 4th of July, so I'll be at Disney.
Oh wow, for 4th of
What?
July?
Yeah.
Shit.
Is
Look
that
at
a
you.
good time to go?
Yes, there's a massive fireworks display
No,
that's
I'm
one of the best in
saying
America. I heard.
crowd-wise.
Crowd-wise is going to be packed, but
It'll be hot as hell too, but it's gonna be hot here anyway.
yeah, who cares?
Oh, it won't even
what's
be
hotter
as
than Texas, for Christ's sake? So
It
you're
won't
good.
be as hot as here.
Yeah,
It'll be California hot.
it sure will.
Oh, I'm going to Orlando. I'm not
No,
going-
no,
Oh,
you're
you're in
fine.
Orlando.
Yes, you're in Orlando, yeah.
Haven't been to that one. I went to the California Star Wars land. What?
Yeah. Weather's a little nicer, at least for those 3-4 hour waits. Yeah. But, you know, you could probably fast pass it up and skip the lines and all that shit, I would imagine.
I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
You guys know, like, I raw dogged
I know,
Disney.
which is crazy to me. It's insane.
And
to me.
everyone I tell is like, what are you talking
I
about?
know. So you went with our mother-in-law,
fast
though,
pass?
and yeah,
No fucking multi-pass.
that's crazy.
No time to go. Bro.
Yeah, I would have gone disabled too.
I
Threw that in
should
the
have.
mix, yeah. Wheelchaired it
It's
up.
just not. I'm old school, but I know now that it's actually not possible. You
Standing in
cannot
line-
get on any rides if you raw dog.
But standing in line's not bad because you're immersed in the full world, right? They do a good job with that.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time, so you're the only one that can discuss that because I was working.
No,
I was working.
they don't
Yeah.
because the lines go so far out.
3-4
You know,
hours. is what Mr. B said.
California is I think the flagship. So it's an older
Orlando.
model. You know what I
California
mean?
was first, yeah, and then
Yeah.
bought the land in
Orlando.
Orlando.
Right, so-
I've been to both. I give the edge to Orlando.
Yeah, because it's an older model. There were less people. It was less, I think,
The mega
affordable.
amusement park was
yeah,
not a thing when Disneyland was created. There were amusement parks certainly, but it was more like
it felt
carnival-esque.
yes, and so it felt so luxury to go. It wasn't like, oh, we're popping over to Anaheim
Yeah.
like how it is now.
Beerworst in the chat here says the sleeper cells would be in Disney.
It's all
No, they just arrested a shit ton of them today. You'll be fine.
That would be interesting if I get murked at Disney World by an Iranian.
Be hilarious.
also back then there wasn't just adults walking around. They would get arrested if they were just adults walking around Disney without kids.
Weeping every 30 seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like that was all, back in the day, that was not a thing. So it was only kids and families.
I'm going to respond to somebody in the chat here. Shogun Pandanopoulos. Sure. No witnesses were called for Diddy. So that's it for Diddy. That's
Mm-hmm.
it. We're moving on. All right.
Yeah, I think it would have been a bad look to show like support for what was going on.
I don't know who would have showed up. It's not like Jay-Z showing up for that.
You're not getting any character witnesses, but I mean, you can get people to say not corroborate what other people said. Like, nah, but it's having a good time.
Right,
But
but
also-
credibility.
Yeah.
You don't want any cross, right?
Yeah, true.
No.
Of anyone that's
Any
like
of those witnesses.
supporting.
No. Ashton
So,
Kutcher. They're not gonna have that.
anyway.
Speaking of which, actually, I wanted to ask you this question.
Sure.
We never brought it up on the show.
Okay.
The conspiracy theory floated that Ashton had Diddy kill Brittany Murphy because Ashton was putting it to Brittany Murphy and cheating on Demi Moore, I think.
Yeah. So I have heard this conspiracy before. However, I don't know where Diddy's involved in it.
He's a poisoner.
Yeah.
Well, he's been able to get away. And by the way, all
he
the
knows
deaths
how
have been
to
the
give
same. It's some
people-
weird pneumonia, and then
And that's
they
what
die.
Jamie Foxx
Correct.
had as well. And Jamie Foxx said Diddy poisoned him, allegedly, or something.
Right.
Maybe that's in the ether as well. But yeah, it was in the same pneumonia type of way.
Maybe, look, oh God, because I work for him and I wrote a movie for him. And maybe this
What
is
is
my
it?
own blindness.
Insulin. You just like shoot him up with insulin or something?
I don't
You
remember.
can't trace it,
But yeah,
and
yeah.
you just look like you got super sick and died.
Maybe. The husband was so weird, though. And then the way that house looked afterwards, if you pulled up the photos from inside the bathroom and all that shit,
It was
like,
a little weird, dude.
it was gnarly, dude. Like, if you want to pop it on screen. But, and again, maybe this is just me being naive, and same with the Danny Masterson thing, but he was nothing but awesome to work for, and fucking, goddamn, Ashton Kutcher. Like, I wrote a film for him. And so was never late to meetings, never did anything. He was just a fucking good dude. Now, what goes on behind closed doors, I have no idea. But I can tell you that's one person that I enjoyed working with. So who knows? I don't know. But I have heard that. She was fucking weird in real life. I can tell you that right now. She was super fucking weird. And even when the Oscars were going on for 8 Mile, she was just so out there as a person. So the Brittany Murphy thing, I have no idea. And even if she were alive today, I think she'd probably be like an Amanda Bynes-ish type person. I don't think she would have been normal. Remember her husband, that guy, the fat dude? Who was like in his 60s or whatever?
Yeah.
Simon something was his name. And then he started banging the mom after she died. And like, the whole thing is, yeah, that's the guy. Go far left. Nope, far left. Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
Yeah. That was weird.
They both slept in the bed together after she died in that place. The mom and the husband for like 6 months. I don't know what the fuck's going on there.
What?
It's like Brendan Fraser mixed with Drake. That face right there.
Mixed with like, yeah.
And remember he called in to do that interview too during the documentary, and you were just like, what the fuck is going on? I just think, me personally, this was just a couple of fucking weirdos, and that's it. You know?
Yeah.
She always weighed like 90 pounds
If
anyway,
anything,
so-
it was conspiracy between this guy and her mom, and they
Right.
for money, or I don't know. It
Who
was
knows?
It was weird for a long time, but I like that. That's a fun one.
You'll never get the real
I do
answer.
like a fun.
So do I. A fun conspiracy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You're not going to get one out of Amy Poehler, though. My God, dude. Fuck these people. Fuck Smartless. Fuck Amy Poehler. Fuck all these people. She was on her podcast, which they've bumped magically to #1 on iTunes, and because they want her to win the Golden Globe because she hosted the goddamn thing. That's my prediction now, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and make that now. I wish it was available in my bookie. She'll win that podcast award for the Golden Globes.
You think? so?
Guaranteed. It's bought off, it's agency-wise, and she's beloved by, she hosted it like 3 times.
Okay.
So she goes on and says, all those sketches I did in SNL back in the day were inappropriate. I appropriated cultures. I did a lot of shit that I regret, and blah. And you're just like, no, you didn't. Like, what are we talking about? It was comedy at the time, and she said comedy has an expiration date. Sometimes not. There's a ton of fucking movies that I still love that are 40, 50 years old comedically, and there's a ton of sketches from SNL, especially from the period where she was on when it was actually good, that I loved. So fuck off. Quit pulling the ladder up now that you're all done. Like, let people make cool shit. And one of the things she said, well, they were like, I forget who the guest was, but they were like, what's the worst thing you did? And she was like, well, when you're in the writers' rooms, I used to draw dicks and then pass them to the male writers. Yeah, that happens in every single writer's room.
It in she's not usually serious on that.
She was serious about this.
Oh.
And so it was like, yeah, dude, that's every cool chick who can actually write good. It was disgusting too. Like, that's comedy. And yeah dude, there's no reason to apologize for it. What, are you worried about getting canceled from your fucking podcast? Like, you're good.
Drawing dicks and passing it.
To dudes, it's hilarious.
Is it?
That is
or is it
sexual,
hacky?
sexual harassment.
Bob would marry that in 10 seconds and be like, holy shit, you just draw me a fucking dick and pass it over to me?
Yeah, I'd be like,
you
oh,
win.
Isn't that like too cool?
Depends on the person, right?
Oh,
it's
okay.
too broy for. I don't think she's attractive, so that's a different story.
Oh,
but like,
okay.
if Sydney Sweeney drew a dick on a cocktail napkin, just slid it over to Bob and didn't say anything, just kind of looked straight ahead and just said, I'll take another whiskey sour. Mm-hmm. That's a die laughing type of move where you're like, did you just really fucking do that?
Oh.
Way to go. Way to fucking go, dude.
She's so funny.
She's hilarious. We all know that, Jesse. You know that.
Yeah, she's hysterical.
Yeah,
Hysterical.
and that would be funny.
And she did come out and confirm that she is single, by the way. And she's just looking to have some fun with her friends this summer.
No, that's great.
She
Great.
moved. She lives in Florida now, which is where Delco's going. Maybe he'll run into her at Disney World. Single. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows, man? But if he doesn't show up for work the next week, we see photos of him and Sydney Sweeney. Well, we know what happened.
We'll know what happened.
Yeah, and we'll congratulate him
Sure.
for doing all of it. And the beauty of it is, if you just posted on Instagram a dick drawn on a cocktail napkin, that's Sydney Sweeney, and Sydney Sweeney signed it like an artist. Hilarious.
Is that funny?
Oh, so funny. So funny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That would really get me.
Trying too hard, I think.
I think, well, you got to realize, like, comedy is about delivery. And if it's delivered from an
By
ugly,
a
fat
person.
bitch,
Yeah, it's not
Then
funny.
it's not comedy.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Not
no, I get
delivery.
that.
funny
It's all
at
about
all.
delivery.
It's all about
really is.
who's delivering the comedy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I got you. Okay.
We were trying to get that Steph Tolov chick on the show on Drinkin' Bros the other day, who, big fan, she was in Tires. And her
She's great.
her bit during COVID was just like, man, for us ugly girls, she goes, that was the best, dude. When I show up after you swiped me, you don't have a choice. Like,
Right.
But to have sex with me, it's either no pussy at all, or you've got to fuck this ugly girl. And she was like, that was the greatest time period of my life.
Also, Sydney Sweeney's going to appear obtainable over the summer because she has a movie coming out called Americana.
Oh, that's
Where
right.
her husband or her boyfriend is Paul Walter Hauser.
Why
Right.
does that name sound familiar?
Isn't she
You know
getting
who he
like
is.
jacked
You're
too?
basically looking at a picture of him right now, but I'll show you a real picture.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
What's the name of the movie?
It's called Americana. It actually came out in 2023 at South by Southwest, but for some reason it's releasing in the summer.
Oh, it probably got held up because of COVID. Some people and contractually said, I need this to come out in summer. This guy is great.
This
I
is
like
her
this guy.
significant other in the movie.
Yeah, Richard Jewell.
I like this guy.
He's really weird.
He's a really good actor, and he's funny.
He's a really weird person.
Sure.
Yeah.
But do you expect anything less? Or
No.
he was the guy who was chewing gum and forgot about it, and then when it went up on stage
Yeah,
to get the award.
and then there was like a barefoot situation. You know,
I
Weird
hope,
guy.
It's-
I hope they have a sex scene. It'd be so funny.
Could you imagine?
they have to, right?
Yeah,
I
if
think
he's
it's
on
like-
top.
You know Sydney Sweeney's not attainable, though, because Glenn Powell is putting it to her or has put it to her. It's just not, that doesn't work.
Or
Sabrina Carpenter.
or Glenn Powell's not even good enough.
Oh,
Right?
maybe.
It's one or the other. Like they're doing it, or she's like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
So if that's not good
Right,
enough
she's
for her,
turning him down.
yeah.
But Sabrina Carpenter dated Barry Keoghan, so, I mean, it's all bets are off.
Look, anything's possible, you guys, and I want you to know that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know if anything's
Anything
possible.
is possible.
I don't think that's possible for some people, you know?
Right.
Yeah. Like, even Barry Keoghan is like a fucking Oscar nominee and all this other shit.
Sure.
I think here's what really how Barry Keoghan
Probably has a hog.
pulled it off.
Well, no, he does. I've
He
seen
does
it. I've
have a
seen his
hog.
dick, yes.
But also, an accent will mask a lot.
Oh, it sure
gosh.
does. Sure does. Jesse moved to England for a boyfriend and lived there for a while.
An accent and a drinking problem, which I think he has too.
Yeah. Jesse's all in. Yeah. All in on that, so.
I mean, for about as long as Sabrina Carpenter was in, right?
Yeah.
How long did you
2
stay there?
seconds.
How long did you stay in England? 6 months?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. It's a move to another country for somebody.
Yeah, I just didn't really have anything else going on though. What was I gonna do? Go back to nothing? You know,
How old were you?
20, early 20s.
Okay. Yeah,
You know,
I
you're kind
understand
of
it.
like, all right, I'll stay.
sure. England, man, you know?
England, man.
Fucking A.
You know how it goes.
You work in the pubs?
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
No.
I know.
You just hung out, right?
Just hung out, dude.
Good for
Played
you.
arrows and fucking drank,
Yeah.
partied.
Great life.
You know what I mean?
Great life. I understand it.
Great life until it's not. Until you're like, all right, I think I'm done.
It was also a different England back then, too, wasn't it?
I
You
guess.
didn't have all the crazy shit with the migrants and all that bullshit, right?
I guess not. Oh, well, yeah, in London for sure, but I wasn't in London.
Okay.
So outskirts never really
All right.
had issues. They still don't, I don't believe.
I don't know anything about it.
Yeah,
as far
London's-
as London's the only one that people have bitched on the show about, but the rest of England, I have no idea. I've never been.
Yeah.
I've never been. But good for you.
Yeah. Johnny Depp,
Yeah.
right?
He's back too.
We've got a.
Acting in movies, and he said the Me Too thing was he was the punching bag for it, and he said he was fine to do so, fine to be the punching bag for it, and
He was the crash
luckily it ended
test
up on
dummy.
Crash test dummy. Look, it ended up on the other side, and I'm good. Everything's fine. But yeah, he's going to be back for sure. A lot of these guys are coming back. Kevin Spacey's directing a movie right now.
All I want to say is this interviewer and the hours and hours he spent with Johnny
My
Depp.
God, dude.
That's all I kept thinking. Like, yeah, he's not saying anything that's, sure, he was the first one to go down during that time when you believe all women.
Mm-hmm.
And then he came back once we weren't believing all women, right?
Yeah.
So it was him first, then Harvey. People don't realize that, I don't think. He was first to go down and dropped from everything right away, no trial, whatever.
Right.
Then Harvey, then the actual trial that we saw
Correct.
was later.
Later, because they had to get everything together. Did he have him over to the house in France?
Well, in England.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because every interviewer said the same thing of because they're also all struck by him as well. And so they end up usually drinking wine with him all day and doing coke. And
Yes.
that sounds fucking rad.
So it was late in the evening and we were cocooned in the lounge of a gorgeous old house.
Yeah.
In the bustling heart of Soho, London, actually.
What's that?
That sounds like, well, it's London, so it's busy city. So it's basically like New York
Well,
in
New York
England.
means South Houston. So what's Soho mean over there, I guess? What does that mean in England?
It's in the heart of Soho, London. I don't know. What is that?
I don't know.
Something like that? South something?
It just says Soho. Let me see how it got its name.
Bustling heart of Soho, London.
I will say this, though. A lot of people have ripped the term Soho and use it for different shit. So
I think it's a
Oh.
part
It's
of...
believed to have gotten its name from an old hunting cry. Soho!
Oh, see?
Oh.
There you go.
Oh, look at that.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Okay was from the pirates, old Kinderhook, letting his swashbucklers know that everything was all right. So he would say, "Aye, okay."
He followed him
That's true.
from Spain to New York and ended up with him in London at his house, drinking,
Oh, that's great.
smoking.
Yeah,
Depp is in ripped jeans
sure.
and a vest and a checked shirt with tinted glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. Love to hear it.
This is a nightmare.
He's back. He's fucking back.
You would love it. This interviewer would love it.
Put him in another Pirates movie. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm just saying,
go.
hanging out and talking one-on-one, I have told you before.
I'm good for 3 days on that shit, and then I
would
lose
be
my
a
mind.
real, I couldn't do much time with it. I couldn't do even an hour, I don't think, guys.
3 days is the max. Even because that was who was it? Post Malone. I spent 3 days with in 3 different cities like that, and the third day, even you were pissed off at the end, where you're just like, "Fuck this dude, let's get out of here." But that's a lot. Johnny Depp, different story though. God, you're gonna hear some shit, dude.
Are you?
I
Is
think
it
so.
gonna make sense?
Hunter S. Thompson. There's a lot there. There's
Is it a
so
long
many
and
stories.
windy, drunken road to get to whatever story, though?
It is. And you know what else I do too?
And a
I
lot
would
of-
edit it. I would edit it so he looked cool.
Oh, of course they did.
Yeah.
He spent many, many days and months with him.
And that's
it's
what Brad Pitt does with GQ
Right,
and everything
right,
else. That's
right,
why I
right.
didn't want to see him on a podcast. Anybody's.
Right.
Let alone talking about fucking AA for
he
half an
pulled
hour.
out a guitar every once in a while.
Fuck yeah, he does. He was in a band.
No, that's
Still
what
is.
he's saying, but how uncomfortable would you be?
Jesse, this is your worst nightmare come true. Like somebody pulls out a guitar.
If he pulls it and starts singing.
Yeah. And then how's this and this and this?
And then kind of stops and finishes the story a little bit and then ding, ding, ding.
We've got a friend who does that, and Jesse can't stand it when he pulls out the guitar. And I'm like, okay. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's your worst nightmare. Whereas I'll hear a couple tunes, and then I'm like, all right, let's kind of wrap that up.
Yeah, I don't
wrap
think
it up so I can move on with my day.
Yeah. I don't think you feel the need to like make them feel good about it, whereas I do.
Yeah, you do. I don't. Where I'm like, it's
yeah,
all right. It's not your best work.
Yeah. You'll just be like, bored.
Yeah. That's not recording quality. I mean, I wouldn't bust that out anywhere. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
That's always how it is, isn't it?
Bud.
Man, I'm still learning. Is it a G? What chord is that?
Yeah.
Man? Is that a fucking G?
But he does. He doesn't name names, but he talks about in this article. This is Johnny Depp breaking his silence on all of it. But he doesn't name names, but he definitely remembers. He is talking about 3 people specifically that turned their back on him. Good friends. He doesn't say. But it's like, wow. Like, you were at my house. You would hang out with my kids. Like, you just, completely. He said other people in the industry, he understood, like, you can't, you just can't, for whatever reason in your career, stick up for me or whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's 3 people specifically, which I kind of want to find out who that is, that he, like, still thinks about and is pissed about. You know what I mean? And I think he said they know who they are. Obviously, they do. But that was an interesting tidbit that he's holding major grudges like
I think it's his agent and manager. Those are 2 out of the 3 because they threw him under the bus, dropped him, sued him, vice versa. And they were together forever, and they made a fuck ton of money off of him. So, star-wise, I can't think who that would be.
That's like good friend with him, like at his house. I don't know
Brad
who he
Pitt,
was friends with.
He was friends with Brad Pitt, Paul Bettany, and somebody else. It was super weird.
Paul Bettany.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Because Jennifer Connelly was probably pissed.
Yeah.
She was just like.
Remember, it was in his text messages had to be in there.
Yeah.
Also, Blake Lively is being deposed today. Supposed to be.
Oh, shit. For real?
Supposed to be.
That's not going to be a fun day for her.
Yeah, but can she just say...
I hate depositions. No, you've got to answer the question. And
yes, no, or I don't recall, right?
Well, your lawyer sits next to you, and so you look to him or her. Mine's always been dudes. And I say, hey, man, do I got to answer that? And he goes, yes. And I'm like, all right, so I'll answer this or whatever. And then...
why would you not if it's a sexual harassment suit? Why would you not answer? Don't you want to answer? Don't you want to...
Are you being serious?
I'm just saying, like, why would you... If we're thinking about it rationally, if with someone else that's bringing a lawsuit, wouldn't you want to answer the things?
One would think.
Oh, okay.
Unless the suit is fake.
Oh, okay.
Then no, you don't
Or
want to
there's
answer.
no... Because you don't want to perjure either. Anyway.
Correct.
That's supposed to be happening. No one will see it, right? But you'll get live updates probably.
But here's the thing. So they film all of it. And yes, if you lie about it, they'll go back to that tape and be like, here's what you said in the deposition.
So you just don't say anything.
Or, well, you have to. If it's her suit, you have to. So yeah, they're going to be able to fire away because it's her lawsuit. Now, if it was against her, then she could look and say yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, but it's hers. So like, you should be able to answer the goddamn questions. But yeah, those things fucking suck. They usually last 8 to 10 hours. And you get one lunch break for an hour, and that's about it. And it fucking sucks. And at the end of it, you're just like, all right, what else? Now, I would always inject humor into it and fuck with these people because I didn't care.
Right.
I was never suing it. I was never on the other side of it where I was suing people for that. They were suing. So because it was always frivolous and a joke, would make it frivolous and a joke. So like my testimony was hilarious.
Right.
And then I would ask the lawyers like,
Can I have
are you
that tape?
comparing somebody's? Oh yeah, I did. I go, can I have this after it's done? He's like, what? And I go, because we brought our own film crew as well. So I go, I have mine, But I go, I feel like you have a better angle of me. And that's because it was straight on like this.
Yeah,
So
and
it
you
was like,
want that kind of.
I don't want that side angle.
You want it to look, not that, but I mean, you want it to look like a real deposition. Too.
Yeah. So those are fun, and occasionally they come out. But in this one, I would imagine everything's going to be airtight, and there will be some settlement involved, and then that's kind of it. Lastly here, Simone Biles deleted her Twitter after that whole Riley Gaines thing.
I think it's for the best.
Rightfully so. There's something off with her.
With what?
With Simone Biles.
Well.
And I don't really know what it is.
She's just not a real. She didn't ever have real life experiences
or a childhood.
Yes, and so her outlook is insane. Like no one can. I mean, other Olympians at that level or other athletes at that level, maybe, but no one. There's no real relatability there. Who did she talk to learn how to?
You know what
reason?
It is?
And her husband pretended that he was more. He still does. Pretends that he's more famous than her, and you're just like, no. I mean, you're a decent football player, but
you know why it's a little weird?
What's up?
She's 4'8".
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird too.
I know.
And
that's just off. That's just something weird about a 4'8".
That's all. That's it.
The legal maximum height for a midget
it.
is 4'11". She's a midget. She's a legal midget.
Get off Twitter. You're 4'8".
Yeah,
you know
you're
what
4'8",
I mean,
dude. I don't want to have you here.
No, I think even the stuff with the husband, and she seems
wasn't those interviews
stunted.
so fucking weird?
She seems very stunted, single-minded, to where, you know, if you're going to have any nuanced conversation or speak out, if you're going to be on Twitter, you got to seen some shit in the world, and I don't know if she has. She's seen the world.
In the interview we saw, which was like a half-hour piece, she treated her dog like it was a child, like an actual real-life baby.
That's actually normal for an early 20-something woman, to be honest.
Yeah, that was the most normal thing in it. It was.
But when she said I'm a stay-at-home mom, I was like, oh, for the dog?
Yep, that's normal.
Okay.
Yeah, totally normal.
That is actually very normal. Unfortunately,
a stay-at-home mom for the dog.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay.
Yeah, it's a problem, but you know,
that's actually I could imagine 40 women I know saying that tomorrow about their dog.
That was the most.
That would be one of the
normal
biggest turnoff of all time, though. For me, at least, I'd be like, no. What? Wait, a dog? Not a child? No. Okay.
I mean, it's also like it's one of those things where it's like a joke, but it's not a joke, but it's a joke.
Oh no.
Right, it's like a community, but it's not a community.
She only did the interview with the dog for the rest of the piece, and it was just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah,
like,
again, pretty normal.
Yeah. I don't know.
But yeah, she just does. I don't know if she should be. She just got really. She was out of her depth. She was dipping her toe in she was dipping her toe in some kind of real life, stuff at whatever age she is now.
Also,
and it didn't work.
Just aren't smart.
Right.
No.
And I think that's part of it. It's just single-minded.
I don't really look to Riley Gaines for much insight either, to be quite honest.
For sure.
Her Twitter is kind of a mess too, because she'll talk about the things she knows about, which is the transport stuff. But dude, go look at her Twitter. I guarantee you she is an Iran expert today. When the tariff stuff was happening, she was weighing in on that. And I was like, bitch, you are 23 years old and just graduated from Kentucky playing sports. Like, you have no idea what you're talking about.
Right.
I don't care if people agree with you or disagree with you. I know you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, activism on Twitter is a prison, right? Because you'll never be doing enough. You're like, oh, no, this is my issue, and they're like, but you have a platform, why aren't you talking about
right?
It'll never be enough. You'll never be like donating enough. You'll never, but she learned, Simone learned that wasn't for her.
No, and rightfully so. So you're all good. My prediction also, by the way,
I think she thought no one was going to say anything. How could she think that?
My prediction, by the way, is I think she tries to make a run in 28 for LA. For the Olympics.
What?
Yeah. That's my guess. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
And then kind of forget about this, and that'll be that for her. But the activism thing, let's just go ahead and stop doing that altogether.
No, I don't know if she was doing the activism thing. It's more like Riley Gaines. It's a prison of like, you can't ever be working on enough stuff in the eyes of people that want you to be
Well, that's
working on stuff.
That's Riley Gaines' career now.
Career now.
Like
She's
it
a
is.
public speaker, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Simone
She gets
Biles
paid.
is in Subway commercials and made tons of money off of her fame. Riley Gaines is just known for that piece of activism.
Correct.
And now she's essentially an influencer in the right-wing sphere of media. That's her whole fucking career.
And she'll give talks around the nation. And look, she got bills changed. I mean, she did it.
I think Simone
She
kind
fucking did
of
it.
got power hungry with the
Oh.
clapbacks.
she
Like,
has a podcast for Clay Travis's network.
Who
course.
does? Of course.
Right.
What
Of
else is she
course,
gonna
yeah.
do? Medical sales?
Yeah,
Yeah, come on, dude.
What do you think's going to happen there, Bob? I mean, that's the perfect transition there. I don't like Clay Travis, by the way, but I like Riley.
it's the end of the road, dude.
Yeah,
It's the last train.
yeah. Good for her. She's going to cash that.
It's the last.
She's going to cash that check.
Truly is the last train.
It's the last train, dude.
It's the last train.
Yeah, like she's retweeting stuff about like
Welcome.
the New York mayoral primary, and it's just like, dude, what are you?
Oh.
Yeah, and by the way, that'll be the final decision of whether or not Me Too is over today. And now this one, I'll fucking be an activist for. If you're in New York, go out and vote. I can't believe I'm saying this. Go out and vote for Cuomo today. This is fucking insane with this other guy.
He's losing.
I know.
So one of the reasons, by the
That's
way,
what I
that
heard.
poll wasn't a poll; it was data, because the other dude had dominated early voting. Early
Okay.
voting has been going on for 2 weeks.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
all right.
okay,
New
okay,
York.
okay.
Good. Hopefully, New Yorkers make the right decision there. But
Don't
yeah.
mess with the Zoran.
Here's what I'll say about Cuomo, even though he's on the other side. He looks like the mayor of New York City, and I think he'll do the right thing as far as crime is concerned and everything else. The Me Too thing was always bullshit with him, too. They couldn't really prove any of that. Did he kill 20,000 grandmothers in New York? Yes. He
killed so many
Killed
olds.
so many
Yeah,
people.
but then but that really endeared
Me Too
him
thing-
to the conservatives. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, get him out of there, obviously. But
No, they were like, "Oh, you're killing grandmas."
yeah.
Maybe I do like you. Do you know what I mean?
But what I was not amped about with his whole thing was the Me Too bullshit, where it was just like, man, that was real touch and go. Like, that's just being Italian.
He's not a
in New York.
pervert, yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
That's
He's
just being Italian in New York.
Touchy.
Hey, I got the bill, Hey, here's my
Yeah.
credit
Little
card.
flap of the boob right there.
Well,
you know what I mean?
it's-
Arm over and then a little flap on the.
It's not that. You kind of just got to undercut it with a middle finger, just a tad. And
Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
about that. I didn't know.
Right.
Was unaware of my surroundings.
Right. I get it.
But same when you were cutting hair, you would, kind of brush a breast across the shoulder to get a bigger
Yeah.
tip. Like, it works both ways.
Yeah.
Country club hug, we call that in the biz,
Oh,
for
nice,
Cuomo.
nice,
Where
nice.
it's just, you got to feel in there to make sure, are those real or fake?
Oh, right.
Are those real or fake? Good to see you. Tell your mom I said hello.
Right.
know?
Right. I like it.
So if Me Too is truly over, we'll find out tonight. And a lot of people have their eye on this race. And then we'll talk about it more on Drinkin' Bros later. Is Governall here? Is Build the Wall Governall on tonight?
He's coming.
He is. Okay, good.
Allegedly. He's not here,
Allegedly.
though.
He's not here yet.
Is he fucking late too? Build the Wall Governall. Justin Governall should be joining us.
Well, he's a
on Drinkin'
comedian
Bros soon.
and
An activist. Kidding. He's being accused of being an activist. It
no,
was
a
all a joke.
comedian and Mexican, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
he's not going to be on time.
Legal. Yeah, but legal.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So, we'll see what Build the Wall's up to. He's a kid now?
Didn't know that.
Yeah. So we're going to talk about that today. He does not like to be uncomfortable. He has no idea this is going to happen today. But I'm going to make him talk about that baby for a while.
Interesting. I would. Yeah.
It's with an ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
It was a whoopsie daisy, and yeah.
Hey, look.
I feel like
Comes
you
in
got
all
trapped.
shapes and sizes. Yeah.
Like you got trapped. Someone asked him about it today. So make
Oh yeah, they
sure
wanted
to
that
see that.
big.
It's on Patreon.
They wanted that big Governall check or what?
You know what's funny? He does really well.
I know.
He makes good six figures.
From?
His job. So he's an analyst, and he's brilliant, which is weird. Like, it has nothing to do with comedy or anything else. So yeah, he does analysis on data for social media campaigns, advertising, and everything else. And like, He was the fucking dude. I can tell you this. He was one of the fucking dudes at Black Rifle who figured out that entire algorithm. There's some people like that who have that gift. That is why he gets paid what he gets paid.
I do know that.
Now, you need a weird guy like that. Let's face it. That's what Gary does essentially for us. And it's got to be somebody weird who's willing to live their fucking life on every platform there is and try to figure out the algorithm and all that shit. And like, yeah, you got to be real into that to do it. But yeah, now he's got a child.
Okay.
So we'll see how that shakes out. But join us on Patreon. We get cranked up whenever he shows up here. That's why we went late today. It's because we could, you know. He's not here, so fuck him. But we'll get into that baby today. And find out what this little dipper's name is.
Yeah,
get into the baby?
Yeah, we'll see what this little dipper's name is, you know?
Oh, okay, see what the name is.
Yeah. And how this all shook out. And then if he kept those goddamn pit bulls around the baby, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's also been in a lawsuit or two. He saves pit bulls.
Oh, God.
Yeah. He's very passionate about it. So we're going to talk about that today.
Sweet.
Crime Corner, what do you got coming out tomorrow?
We have Betty Broderick.
Part 2.
Part 2. As you guys
case.
know, it's a big case, well-known case. Lots of ins and outs. There's the actual marriage. There's the actual, murder. Sorry, spoiler. And then there's a couple trials. So there's a lot of information in it, but all very good. Cautionary tale, dudes. Cautionary tale.
Yeah.
Big surprise I'm on her side, but it's a good one.
It is. It is.
Give it a little listen.
Last but not least, Aaron Rodgers will probably be in Austin next summer for good. So he just said maybe 30, 40 minutes ago on McAfee's show that it's probably his last year of playing football, and he's all done after this. He's going to give it one final go, leave it all out on the field, and that's it. You and I both know that one of our realtors sold him a place down here, so, could be seeing Aaron. It's in our area, by the way.
Yeah, he can pop by. If he's not playing anymore,
He'll have
this
nothing
is
but
his
time
jam,
to do podcasts.
bro.
Yeah.
Actually, this seems like his jam. It doesn't seem like he cares, actually, even now. But
I'll say this to his credit.
Jam.
He showed up at OTAs, which is like the practice, where you're just kind of wearing the helmet and the jersey and doing all this stuff. And it's 2 days. It's not easy. And usually veterans sit it out. He's there every day, though. So he's giving it a go.
Okay.
It's not like the Aaron Rodgers of the past where I'm going to sit this out. So maybe it is. Maybe this is the final year for him. And he'll be in Austin soon. We'll try to get him on the show. If we did him and Aubrey Marcus, how long do you think I could do that show for? 8 minutes tops? What's the over-under before I would have to fucking kill myself?
You're getting pushed out.
Yeah, I think
They're
they
taking
would
over the
just
studio.
Probably.
They would just cook, dude.
Yeah. Just, I can hear that
They
bowl.
would just turn towards each other.
I can hear that bowl being stirred, too, in
and
the
do
corner.
like a stare off, and we're like, it's an audio show, and they're like, no, we're just staring. You know what I mean? It'd be a lot of
because
cool, fun
it's
stuff
not
like
just
that.
an audio show. We're available on Spotify video right now. So join us over there, all Tetherball Academy Media Network. Sign with Spotify video-wise. And we're putting up the back catalog as we speak. When is the fucking internet going to be done here? Do we have that answer?
The router's coming.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
All right. Because then he can come in and do it. And Jesus Christ, man. Start plowing through these episodes. But he's done good so far. I think he's 300 episodes are put up. So let's fucking go, dude. All right? Love to see it. So pop on over there for Ross Patterson Revolution. Obviously, Patreon is first. And then we'll put the other episodes up, a week later, 2 weeks later, whatever it is. But yeah, dude, all of the back catalog is going up for all of the shows. So that's there.
How do you eat an elephant?
Huh?
One bite at a time.
Yeah, sure do.
The what?
How to eat an elephant, one bite at a time, because that's a lot. That's 4,000 episodes he's putting up right now.
Oh, God.
Yeah, video-wise.
Oh, God.
It's a lot. Appreciate you tuning in. Do go to Spotify, rate the show a 5-star, and leave a quick review. Also, head on over to iTunes. It's just a 5-star, and you can walk away. For Jesse Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I'm Ross Patterson. This is The Revolucion. Buenos tardes, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Is he still not here?